Welcome to Entrepreneurship Practical course Design Thinking and Human Centered Design. The design thinking is an important process in the startup journey. In this startup journey, in the design thinking process, we have five major steps. The step starts from empathy. Based on the empathize, we define a problem statement we call definition. After defining, we go for ideation. From the ideation, we have a technology feasibility study. For that, we need prototyping. Then, we are taking into testing of that prototyping. These and all between technology readiness level 0 to 4 or 5. Always we are focusing for scale up startup. Last course, startup formation and scalability. We discussed many points about technology readiness level. Here, design thinking is a premier process before going to enterprises, particularly for college students, technology based student. We understand if the design thinking problems, we can easily define a problem statement. Last topic we already studied ideation, prototyping, initially empathy technique and problem statement definition. This study design thinking mainly for human centering. We are not taking industrial problem because generic different batch students taking this minor degree. That's why we are considering mainly focusing social issue, social problem. In this concern, in the design thinking principle also we studied. Here, testing means prototype testing. Last lecture we discussed about prototyping. Here, prototype testing is very important. How to test the prototype testing? That is the main objective of this video lecture. How to test prototyping. Definition of prototyping testing: the process of evaluation an early stage simplified version of a product. We understand from the last lecture prototyping means the simplified version of the product. Before scale up, we are going to make a small setup which is called prototype. We are doing lot of testing with that prototype before scale up. The need of prototyping, if you are taking a complete prototype instead of product we are going, the product cost may be very high. For simple, without spending lot of money, we are considering a small prototype. With that prototype, we are going for scale up. Prototype we are taking for different study. How we are testing the prototype we are taking in this lecture class. Now see the definition. Prototyping testing is a process of evaluation and early simplified version of a product with the real user to gather a feedback and identity potential issues before significant development resources are invested. This is a typical surveying We have a sample. With that sample, we consider as a prototype. We are going and distributing among our customer. We are taking the feedback from the customer, how it is utilizing. So please understand, surveying is required whether the product is satisfied for longer duration or not. Without proper prototypes testing, when we go for scale up, what will happen? During the scale up, the lot of issue will come. We are spending very long time and spending more money for prototyping. Even more money for prototyping means the scale up how much we need to spend. The most of the industry, the reason for failure, please understand, the reason for failure without proper studying of, without proper testing of prototype. That's why we always take care of the study of prototyping based on the technology study and commercial study. For that we need two different type of mentoring. One is technology based mentoring. Our institution, Venkateswara College of Engineering, technology based institution. We have different branches, mechanical engineering, automation, computer science, information technology. In the information technology, specialization, cloud computing, biotechnology, chemical engineering, civil engineering, automobile. With this technology, we need to undergo the study. Then, based on the technology feasibility, if we received a good result in testing, we go for customer study. That is important. Last course in the startup formation and scalability, many times we discussed the market stability. The scale up, before scale up, we need to study the market. Many startup failure reason, the only reason, improper market fit. How it make proper, we need to study. For that only we always asking the suitable question, who are your premier customer, paying customer. If you understand the problem, the customer or need of this product, then sellability is good, our prototype is good, everything is good. The flow, please understand what is the need. Nowadays, most of the time, the healthcare as well as digital product goes faster manner. So many startup from healthcare as well as digital. Many people in the road, even vegetable seller, they are using digital money transfer. That means a need of the day. So please understand, prototype testing is the process of evaluation and early stage simplified version of a product which real user to gather feedback and identify potential issues before significant development resource are invested. Testing prototypes allows the early identification. The testing gives information about the problem. There is a flaw in design or the problem in the area development. Here we called the paper itself user-centric design. Here please understand, user-centered approach means ensure that the product is designed with the user in mind. You understand two different statements here. Empathize. Before taking the problem statement, you live with the problem. How the people are feeling that problem, taking that problem, how they are suffering. With that mindset only you go and take the definition of the problem. This is one side. Another side, after prototyping, during this testing, if you are being a customer, how you will see the product. Previously, problem empathize. Here, customer preview, the version of customer, you need to understand the product quality, understand the product quality, what you expect from the product. That's why we call user-centric approach. User-centric approach, it ensures that all the product is designed with the user in mind, leading to a more user-friendly and effectively a final product. Then important for this testing, I already explained such nice way. One is from the technology based mentoring, another one is a business mentoring. Business mentoring always concerned with the profit, cost effectiveness. Finding a mixing issue during the prototype phase is significantly less expensive than making changes after the product is fully developed. While releasing the product as per customer preview, you satisfy all the need of the customer. If you release a prototype, the customer need extra additional revision in this product, you have to incorporate with that. That's why we go for prototype testing. The testing is very important. We need interactive process. Prototype testing is often an interactive process while getting feedback from the leading and design engineers. We need to adjust. Many time car manufacturer after designing they go for prototyping. With that prototyping they are evaluating technology based feasibility as well as economical feasibility. After testing a prototype, completely the previous design will change. We are going to see in the next slide. So, interactive process is very important. We want to make into next level. That's why we need the interactive process. In a design thinking, it is a linear progress. We already studied empathize, problem definition, ideate, prototype. Finally, we have testing. This is we are testing for prototype. We already studied what is meant by empathize, what is the definition, ideate, prototyping and testing, all those things. Now, coming to picture, after empathize, we are defining the problem, the ideation, finally we have a prototyping. With the testing, different way of testing we have. One side technology, another one commercial area. With the technology, we need to understand testing for design, material, manufacturing, different way of prototyping testing. This side for commercialization, we are going for testing the people, economical background, how it is. The popular people, rich people, how they are thinking. We need to understand all those things before concluding this testing. We have proper steps involved in the prototyping testing. Initially, we have a preparation, testing, analyzing. Finally, we have a report. The preparation phase involves define clear objective. Within the prototype testing, we have preparation, testing, analyzing, reporting. Preparation phase involves define a clear objective, create a test scenario and recruiting appropriate participants, testing, analyzing, then reporting. We are going for testing, that is a major portion. For 4 step, 70 percentage of work in the testing. After testing, giving report is easy. We need to analyze why we want this. Once again, we will put 4W2H. Why, what, when, where, who, how many, how. While asking these questions, we will get proper analysis of the testing. After testing, we need to report all those things to properly. So preparing, testing, analyzing, reporting, these are the major steps involved in the prototyping. While in the prototyping testing, these are the major steps involved. Here we will see the clear picture. Here, very important here, prototype testing. Now we have different input as well as output. We have a required analysis, that is the input here. Final output we call in the prototype testing releasing. So required analysis, first we go for design. Design, prototype, customer evaluation, refining, reviewing. Once again we will change the design. Look here, in the flow chart, start from analysis. We need to analysis. What we want to analyze? The problem, ideation, prototype. With that prototype, we need to analyze. What we are going to analyze? Design. Where? In the prototyping. Whom? With the customer. Based on the customer, what you are reviewing? Refining. With that refined statement, they are taking again into redesign in the prototype. Once again going to customer, get the feedback, refine, review. That's why it is in the closed loop. If the customer approved, then you develop, once again test, you release the product. So prototyping, we have a cycle, closed cycle. When the product will release, if the customer is approving. Up to customer approval, we need to improve the quality of the product. We never thought about the productivity here. We never thought about the economical consideration here. That's why in the incubation center, we are providing all the support. Infrastructure we are supporting. We are supporting testing facilities. We are connecting with the finance agency, government agency for easy approval. If the product prototype is feasible, customer friendly, customer is approved, then we are taking into the next level for scalability. Many examples we will quote here. The first problem analysis, while using a blade for shaving, many issues during that time, improper fixing of the blade, the scratches, the blade is coming. That's why a company introduced a twin blade. The twin blade is safer. We cannot use improper way. Fixing blade is not required, already fixed. Designed such a nice way. This is every time, every day we need of that. We need proper shaving. That's why we need the proper shaving. We want a blade That twin blade. The twin blade is safer. It will not give any injury in our face. That is designed. For that we go for prototyping. With that prototyping, we are getting feedback from the customer. We take the customer segment in three different customers. One is young people between 18 to 22, 25, 30. Young youth. Taking the problem from the elderly people, older people. So based on that, we are getting feedback whether it is feasible for village. In the village, very difficult because cost is not affordable. At that time, we take a customer feedback. Are you able to use this? We are giving sample to the customer. Customer feel it is good, but I am not affordable. When you are affordable, not now. If what price you are expecting, based on that, we want to redo the design. The profit one end, the same time, customer satisfaction is another end. We want to both. That's why first we need to require analysis, then design analysis, prototyping, customer feedback. When we have a closed loop, when the closed loop is over, customer approved, we will develop testing and releasing all those things. This is a suitable type of prototyping testing. If you have a startup, you have a prototype, you follow the cycle based on the customer feedback. Customer feedback is important here. Then we have steps involved in the particularly in the prototype testing. In the prototype testing, we have various steps involved. One is empathy, defining, then ideation. After ideation, before testing, we have a prototype. We follow the prototype testing. After testing, we are releasing the prototype. That means we are going for mass scale production. That's why we have three major stages. One is design. Then we made built prototype. Then we follow a testing. Design, build, testing. Then very important here, based on our testing of prototyping, we have major 5 steps. Before testing of this prototyping, we are going to analyze few important things. One is testing prototype include what are you trying to test? Do you have the resource to create a prototype? Third question, how much time do you have for the test? Then what is the risk of in the prototyping during the testing? What are the benefits of prototyping while testing? Take this as a question for your product development or process development. This is the first one. What are you trying to test? After prototyping, while going for testing, you ask these things, very important thing. One is, what are you trying to test? Number two, Do you have a resource to create prototyping and its testing? Sometimes many people have an idea. They have very difficulties to produce a prototype. After prototype, they don't know where to test. What are the certification is required? So testing, some agency come forward for taking the testing process. Then how much time do you have? The main issue in this startup journey, we are taking 3 to 5 years to be a matured product. While coming to the end of the product, during the testing, they don't know where to get testing certificate and all. How much time taken? That's why they are not able to survive. Then what are the risks of testing the prototype? Sometimes the people are releasing before testing. What will happen? The product will go into the market. There is an improper fit in the market. Once again, another competitor come up. At that time, we are not able to sustain. Here I want to mention one suitable example for improper market fits. Nokia, initially they developed a suitable, immediately they released a product. The product cell phone. Nokia, connecting people, the logo itself says. The famous company, they released their product. Many people brought, that is called iPad cell phone. They understand the customer feedback, but they are not coming forward to develop their product into next level. They are not releasing the Android base, that means a touch screen. But people feedback, if instead of typing something like a now our desktop computer or typewriter, if we touch the points, that will may be useful for us. So many company come forward, they are releasing the proper cell phone which is short duration. That's why I mentioned time taken for testing. Feedback immediately. First we need to release the product, then only it will be successful. Otherwise there is a big failure. Competitor take that as advantage, take forward to next step, they will come upward. So, what are the benefits of prototype testing? We need to understand. After testing, immediately I will take the feedback to redesign the product, releasing immediately. So, simple example, Nokia is not coming forward to release the touch screen. They have iPad type of phone only. There is a big market failure. They are not able to sustain a longer time. That's why another company, Vivo, Oppo, Samsung, many company coming forward, but Nokia is not in our cell phone market. This is a major suitable example. Similarly, more than 200 vaccine coming for corona time. Many researchers spend their own time, but few Covaxin is coming into top because of testing procedure. Why I am emphasizing all those things? Immediately testing will give result. If it takes 6 months for biological testing and all 3 to 4 years. We are not able to wait all those things for longer time. That's why we need immediate test result. Based on the we want to redesign. Otherwise, we are not able to take our product immediately first. We want to release the first. Even the syllabus revision, after revision, we are taking all the hints, syllabus and releasing the book. That released book come forward. Students will like immediately what they are releasing. So please understand that time taken for testing is very, very important. Then objective of the testing is very, very important. Where we go faster manner. The customer end is very, very important. We understand the customer taste. Accordingly, we want to finalize. We need to incorporate the feedback from the customer. Then we want to make into product release or scale up. With this, I conclude the last step involved in the design thinking process. That means prototype testing. Here simply testing I am giving in the title. Prototype testing. The need of prototype testing before going for scale up, we need to identify we have the huge market here. That's why we need to incorporate all the customer feedback. That's why huge market, based on that we will go for scale up. With this, I conclude this prototype testing heading. Thank you.